So, Veronica and I just subjected ourselves to the torture of watching Emilia Perez twice.
Our favorite movie.
Our favorite movie now. It was a shit show. It was a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you why. We are both trans women. And
Allegedly.
allegedly, we're trans women. So we may have opinions about this, I suppose.
I think we need to get into it.
Okay.
There's so much.
Okay.
There's
okay.
literally so much. Like they really did not hold back.
So I think we're just going to take this point by point
Yeah.
in the plot. I think it kind of starts a little strong. Like it kind of, the opening number, there's some really stunning choreography. Zoe Saldana is pretty...
It almost gives that one movie, West Side Story.
Yeah, it kind of...
in the
like,
beginning. Yeah, and
like,
I wish it would have stayed there.
It started kind of on a high note. But there was like a moment where they're like, the violence in the streets and someone gets stabbed. Like there's a cutaway and someone gets stabbed in like the most fake way. I don't know. Where it's like... So that's stunning.
So serious.
Zoe Saldana is a lawyer.
Yeah.
She is a lawyer in Mexico City.
She takes on the defense of a high-profile case. This is like framing her career. She's like morally like sad about it.
And then, okay, afterwards, she like, I'm pretty sure they take a shot at women just first off the bat. She's like, ugh. Like, I'm on my period. Like, right after her. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
But she's like, ugh, I'm just having such a hard time. Does anyone have an extra tampon? She goes to the bathroom. And it's like...
so written by a man.
It's written... Yeah, so this is a movie about a Mexican trans woman starring a Spanish woman written by a French cis man.
Mm-hmm. Rita, the lawyer's name is Rita, gets like a call about a random crazy lucrative job, and the client turns out to be, not to dead name her,
our mother,
Kingpin Juan Manitas del Monte, and Rita's basically like kidnapped, like she's fully kidnapped and taken to this like empty train where she learns about her assignment, and we meet Emilia Perez.
But they don't refer to her as Emilia Perez.
No, she's in man form.
No, she's very man-moding. And let me just say, the makeup is atrocious.
She looks like an orc.
They gave her like orc. They put this weird nose.
What's the ones in the second Lord of the Rings movie? She looks like an urukai. She looks insane. The makeup is so crazy.
She says, "Oh, I've been on hormones for 2 years," and then she unzips her like jacket to supposedly show
her hairy ass
tits to Zoe Saldana. And so supposedly no one's noticed that. Mm-hmm. Like her wife has not noticed that she's grown. No one has noticed that she's been, I don't know how she's gotten this estrogen for 2 years. She's been doing it.
Well, she's the kingpin. Maybe she made it.
So she is a cartel leader. So one of the drugs that they are running is estrogen, I fear. They're bringing estrogen into the country.
Literally. Rita agrees, and she basically starts traveling the world to learn about these trans surgeries. Basically, Emilia Manuel at the time tells her like, oh, he hires her to do all the research, book all the flights. He basically hires her as a PA.
Yeah, she's like, oh, can you just do my bidding for me? Can you
literally
figure out how I need to transition? And she's like, okay, slay.
So Rita
she wires her $2 million.
I think that's her PA salary. Which
that is
honestly,
the PA salary.
That's pretty good rate.
That's a pretty good rate, I would say. That's a pretty good rate.
For those of you who are not in the business, PA means production assistant.
Yeah, we're kind of industry girlies over here.
Those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she hires her and she starts traveling. Rita starts traveling the world to learn about trans surgery for her exciting, spunky new boss.
She goes onto this website that is like the dumbest website I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it says vaginoplasty. It's like pink and it's got little blue like buttons. It's like body contouring vaginoplasty.
She's looking at gifs.
She's
literally looking at gifs.
PP vagina. And then she goes to Bangkok, which is where we get the most iconic of scenes. The faded penis to vagina
The
scene.
anthem.
The anthem of the movie. Exactly.
La vaginoplastia is
Which I
the
think
name
we
of the
should.
song.
I think we should watch.
Absolute
classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. According to our flight plan, we'll arrive.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about
Sex change
operation.
Men to woman, or woman to man.
Man to woman, from penis to vagina. The bob.
Is it for you?
That's my favorite part.
What would you like
Is
to
it
know
for you?
about it, ma?
He clocked her tea. He said, "Is it for you, diva?"
Clocked it down.
The techniques and the risks. How many operations? How much time do you need?
Penis to vagina, penis to vagina.
Mammoplasty.
Yes.
Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Rhinoplasty.
Yes.
Laryngoplasty.
Yes.
Mammoplasty.
Yes.
Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Rhinoplasty.
Yes.
Laryngoplasty.
Yes.
Control laryngoplasty.
Okay, it is so crazy how they put all, like you were saying this, they put all cis men in this scene.
Yeah, so notice in this scene, you don't see many trans women. You see quote unquote men, full on like men, like sitting down for their operations supposedly to get a vagina. Let me just say, that is just so far from reality. There's no one who goes in for a vagina before anything.
No, we know so
like,
many people that get surgery. Like it's
Yeah.
it's something that comes, like it takes a lot of time.
Takes
So
a
it's
lot
very
of
rare to
time.
just go into surgery like full full man.
No one goes into surgery full man.
I think I was saying maybe Caitlyn Jenner did it.
Perhaps
She was the only one.
She was the first ever. Well, she was the first ever trans woman.
Yeah, that's true.
9/11.
9/11.
9/11.
So that's a bop.
So she goes to Bangkok, and then for nothing, because then she goes to Tel Aviv to actually go to the surgeon.
This amazing doctor.
This amazing doctor. And then we go to, I think, probably my least favorite scene.
Yeah, this really got
This
you.
is where the movie kind of takes a huge downward spiral. It already was doing not good. But she goes to Tel Aviv. She's like, my client. They're dead naming. They're like misgendering. Like they're not. They're like, oh, he man, my mystery man.
Yeah, in this scene, she's like talking to the future surgeon, like asking questions, asking about prices, and they're talking about him as a man, like for this surgery.
This is not how that works.
And then this whack job surgeon just starts going, "This will never fix him." Yeah. It's like the weirdest.
He's like, you can change the body, but you can't change the soul.
You
It's
will always be clocky.
Bitch, you are a surgeon. You change the body. No one asked
Literally.
you about the soul. It's
They
like,
start singing about like the morality of a sex change operation.
Yeah. And he's like, you can't change society. And like, bitch, who are you? Are you a philosopher? You're a fucking surgeon.
It's
you do the fucking
so
operation.
unserious. It's I think in like the terms of the movie, it wants to portray like the journey and like the morality of being a kingpin and like and like that's what the
changing your soul. I
but
think they're trying
it's
to be
just
like,
so
can
many
he
plot
really
holes. Like
change?
how would the doctor even know?
How would the doctor know? How would and just like, this is just not how, we're both girls who've gotten surgery. You don't go to your surgeon. The surgeon is not the one who asks you, are you sure you're a woman? Like, that's basically what the surgeon is saying. Like, is he for real? Is he real tea? Like, that you've gone past lots of, you've been through many roadblocks and hurdles before this point. You've talked to many psychiatrists and therapists who have asked you that question. The surgeon is at the end of that entire process. And the surgeon just says, okay, here's what you need to do.
Even in this like zany context of like the kingpin or whatever, like it's so weird. It's so weird.
And at that point, Zoe Saldana literally looks at the camera and is like, can you change society? Like looking, I feel like this song is supposedly like the one where it's like, oh, this conversation is actually an allegory for trans rights as a whole. And it's just so not the place to have the conversation.
It's so stupid is what it is. Anyway, so
and then she's like well, maybe if you come see him. So this surgeon is like, oh yeah, I'll just come to Mexico.
Yeah, they go to this barbecue and then Selena Gomez is there.
So, oh my god, okay. So this is where we get the introduction of Selena.
The star of the film, in my opinion. Sorry.
So I don't speak Spanish, so I can't attest to how bad her Spanish is. But even just from my minimal view of Spanish,
no es mi patrón.
She sounds so bad.
Pincha pendeja.
In her fuck-ass bob with the bleach blonde hair.
I like the hair. I liked the hair.
It's pretty stunning, but... So supposedly this tiny woman has not noticed her husband's boobs this entire time.
Nothing.
There was a scene earlier where she unzips her jacket and she's like, look, I've been on hormones. And Zoe's like, oh! And then supposedly no one... It's like, okay, so you've been doing this for 2 years. By the way, when you're on hormones for 2 years, your skin changes. Your skin gets softer. You would not have a nose. Your nose gets smaller. Your facial features change.
Low-key, my feet got smaller.
My feet got smaller too, Gorge.
Yeah,
it's
and they said it's impossible. My doctor told me it wouldn't happen, and it did. I went down a size.
It happens because the ligaments, your cartilage shrinks.
They're a little demure.
Your feet get a little demure. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they take this doctor out to hang out with the cartel at this barbecue. Selena Gomez is there, and then they have like this beautiful little moment where Emilia sings about her desire to be a woman, and the doctor's like, "You're good.
You're good now. Now that I know, honey. Now I know you're real tea. You're a real tea. Like I get it now."
And then for one of like the strangest moments in the movie, Emilia wakes up in pain and bandages. And
oh my god,
it's like a kind of like a slow scene. She wakes up looking like she wakes up looking like the Joker.
So supposedly she gets all of her surgeries done in one sitting: vaginoplasty, facial feminization surgery,
10 surgeries.
She gets her breast augmentation. She gets
shave.
Tracheal shave. She gets it all done, and then she wakes up. And girl, she does not have on the bandages that she would have on after FFS. She looks like a burn victim. She looks like
really
Squidward after he got stung by the big jellyfish. They put bandages. They cover her face in bandages. Also, mind you, they're just inaccuracies left and right. But let me point out another one. You can't just go in to get your done. You have to do electrolysis, which
it's a process.
For those of you who don't know, electrolysis is like you have to go in for a session. You've been doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing. If I could go to Claire's and get a pussy like installed right now, I would. But it's not that easy. It takes months of preparation because you have to do painful electrolysis.
Do you want to explain electrolysis?
Electrolysis is they use like a needle to zap away the hairs on your body. It's a permanent hair removal. Is a way of doing permanent hair removal. And yeah, so the entire area before a vaginoplasty basically has to be hairless, or else it'll kind of like mess with the surgery, and also hair will be growing inside of you, which is not
good. And that process takes months and months and months of like repeated sessions of having electrolysis. You can't just show up. But anyway,
this bitch really just said, you know what, it's okay, give me the clocky Latina special,
give me the
and just no, sorry, not but like she really just tried to do it all. It just looked unrealistic. And when she wakes up from surgery, like obviously they're portraying like the pain of it, and then the camera kind of pans to another shot where she's healed and she's putting on a bra, and we're like, this is Emilia Perez.
There's a point where she's like, she has a little mirror and she's all bandaged up, and she puts the mirror like down on her vagina so she can see it, and she's like, oh. I'm like, bitch, your would have been fucked up by then.
It would have been swollen boots,
unrecognizable. You're not.
But we see her put her bra on. She's ready.
She's T now.
And then the plot kind of skips.
Oh, she fakes her death.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
She fakes her death. She puts her wife and kids in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And she
in like a gorgeous little Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of stunning. They were like skiing and stuff and having a stunning time.
Basically, the plot jumps 4 years in the future, I guess in London, where Rita just lives and is hanging out. And at a dinner, she meets a mysterious, honey-voiced, brassy woman.
Brassy. And she's like, bingo. She's like, is it you?
Literally, they happen to be at the same like dinner at a restaurant. It's like a group, and they start talking, and then Rita realizes,
wait, it's that tranny.
It's that tranny. I know.
Tranny. It's the tranny that I did the thing for
all those years ago.
And then Amelia's like, don't you miss Mexico? And Rita's like, no, not really. And then after talking, she's like, well, do you want to just come back to Mexico and live with me? And
can
she's
I
like,
just buy you?
That's literally what happened, basically. She's like, can I just buy you and you live in my house like my little doll?
It's so hard to find a good PA.
It's hard. I need an assistant.
Literally.
What the fuck?
I know
She's
you're a lawyer. I know you're an international lawyer, but I really need an assistant right now.
I need you in my house. I need you in my house.
I need a personal assistant, and I know you'd love the job.
I just know you, and it's like Rita looks into her eyes and is entranced. It's like, I don't understand.
I guess I will.
Yes, of course, Emilia. They go back to Mexico.
Yeah, and this is when we see Emilia Perez. She's walking around her house, her gorgeous house. I mean, she has all this money. Importantly, she has all the money from her cartel days. She keeps the money
from her cartel days.
With the help of Rita, they bring all the kids back and Emilia says that she's like a distant aunt. And Selena Gomez comes back too.
But the whole idea is no one recognizes her. The only person who...
No one can tell.
No one can tell. The only person who knows is Rita. Not her wife, not her kids. No one recognizes her except for Rita.
That's important.
That's what they want you to believe.
Oh, there's this like weird scene where she has an encounter with the mother of a missing child, and she feels like to be blamed for it because this is out in Mexico City. She used to be the cartel boss. You can kind of see her feeling really guilty about that.
They're like out eating with Rita.
And then there's this awful scene back at the house where, remember when the kid comes in the room?
Oh my God, the kid, yeah. So like the whole time she's like, I'm just auntie.
She's auntie, I'm Auntie Emilia, whatever. And then one day she goes into her kid's room and the kid's like, you smell like my dad.
You smell like my papa.
Me papa.
Me papa.
And I'm like...
And then like old dog or something.
Yeah, old dog,
you smell like
cigarette,
old dog and
whiskey.
Cigarettes. I'm like, oh, what?
What?
Just call her a...
Literally. Like, no...
You smell
what?
like tranny.
She's like... It's so funny because in the movie, she's so glammed out. And her kid is like, you smell like whiskey, cigarette, 2-in-1 body wash.
Literally, they focus so much on her being a man before. Like they focus that is her character is defined by that trait, not by her womanhood.
I thought on the second time I watched, it was interesting because you could see that they put her in like the stereotypical role of the father dealing with like control, money, being like the breadwinner, having all these women around her. Because
she brings in her ex and just supports her. And now she's supporting the lawyer too, Rita,
so weird.
which I'm just confused because I'm like, why what happened to Rita's agency? Like, what? She was this independent lawyer, and somehow now she's just living at Emilia's house, and she's her little maid or assistant. Little PA.
She fulfills her dream of being a PA.
Finally. I can quit being a lawyer and just... And then, okay.
Emilia starts a nonprofit.
Okay, this is where it starts to get... So, Emilia was a drug lord, cartel leader. She definitely killed her fair share of people, and there are a lot of people missing from the cartel. Mm-hmm. So what does she do? She starts a nonprofit to find missing people.
And give them makeovers.
She literally... She's like, let's get those tattoos off you, honey. Let's get you... It's unclear what the nonprofit really is. It's kind of just like
it's her activism.
Up. It's just like general nonprofit fix crime.
Yeah,
find
there's
missing people.
There's like a weird subplot too, where like Emilia Perez starts to like accept donations from like other like cartels for the nonprofit. That didn't really make sense to me.
For some
There's
reason,
a lot of songs about it.
Yeah, okay. And then she's on TV doing the nonprofit, and what they're trying to have us believe is that she's stealth this entire time. No one knows that no one has clocked her tea. And I am sorry, Gorge. You cannot be that big of a public figure as a trans woman and be that stealth. You have to be on a level of cuntiness of...
You all love to clock our tea.
Y'all love
to clock our tea.
Y'all will transvestigate cis women. Y'all will look into the internet history. Y'all will find out. Bitch, she would have been clocked out. She goes on TV. People know she's trans. I'm sorry, Gord. You can't. I'm sorry. Even the cuntiest, fishiest dolls, if they become public figures, they get clocked.
True.
You cannot be stealth these days.
It's impossible. It's literally impossible. But yeah, she's back at the nonprofit. Emilia Perez makes a love connection.
She starts dating this woman who
comes in as like a victim to the nonprofit looking for help. And then they spark it again, puts Emilia Perez almost in the role of like the savior, the man.
Yeah. And then she delivers the news of like, your husband's dead. Mm-hmm. And she does it in such an emotionless, like, manly way.
It's just, they don't have like a romantic entanglement. She just kind of like, I feel weird. She just like buys another woman.
Exactly. She's like,
so like,
we found your husband. He's dead. And then she's like, she looks back down at her paper and she's like, oh, sorry. Should I have been more gentle with that? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. How long have you man-moded, bitch? Like, literally. How long have you boy-moded? How long have you been boy-moding? Like,
this movie is so obsessed with the fact that Emilia was a man. It's a movie about everything she did as a man.
And like, now coming back to haunt her.
Except acted by a trans woman. It's not, listen, we know a lot of trans women. We know trans women of all different kinds, of all different, like, moral, like...
Oh, yeah, we know Republican trans women.
We know that a trans woman would have been like, fuck them kids. Like, they do not... Why does she give a fuck? Like, she needs to just go to Puerto Vallarta and start a new life.
A true degenerate... I'm sorry, a true drug lord degenerate is not gonna, like... She fakes her death, and then she goes and makes a nonprofit
and like hangs out with her family, like diva, go to like Ibiza. Like, it's so unreal.
Literally.
It's just, you think someone who thousands of people or whatever is just gonna be like, you know what? Instead of like living my life away from the horrors of my past, I just want to see my kids. I want to see like my kids.
And I want to find those people that I killed.
Literally, it's so like a white man writing what he would do in that situation, except it's not what he would do in that situation.
No.
He just thinks Yeah. So a lot is happening in the movie. It's honestly kind of hard to keep track of. Like, Selena Gomez gets back with her boyfriend. Selena Gomez has moments with Emilia where they're like Like somehow she doesn't clock it.
Okay,
does
somehow
not
she
clock
doesn't
it.
clock it, but she keeps like going on about. They have like these weird interactions of like, oh, she's what was your husband like? She's like talking to her like, but I'm just so sorry. This would not. It's just so unrealistic. She's just not clocking her tea the whole time. You literally like what is? They were together for like fucking years.
Yeah.
And and now you're living with her again, and there's never the slightest thing of like.
She does do a fun number. She does do a good number in the movie.
Do a stunning number.
What is it? I don't remember what it's called. She does like a song where there's like backup dancers, and she's like, yeah. I saw an interview where Selena Gomez was asked about Emilia Perez, and the quote is like, I guess I could have prepared for it more.
I think that's the thing of the entire movie. Probably could have researched a little, talked to one trans woman.
A little one like Mexican.
Or Mexican, yeah.
Person. Like I don't know who the consultants were. It doesn't like there probably were, but it doesn't seem like there were.
No, it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it was like the director was so like. Didn't they say they couldn't find any good Mexican actors? That's because they didn't hire. Like,
oh yeah,
they were.
Well,
like,
that was their response when people were asking like, why are there no Mexican people playing these roles
in your movie about Mexican people?
And
like,
God, the director's such an idiot. I have so much to say about him, but let's keep on the plot.
Okay, wait. I just overall note. This is a musical. The songs are not songs. They do not sing. You think musical, you're like, like let's stop and do a chorus and a big dance number. Mm-hmm. They whisper sing, they talk sing, nothing is catchy.
They chant. They chant a lot. It's
every
uncomfortable.
Time they'll like start talking and then you're like, oh wait, this is a song right now. They'll be like like just like chanting, whispering, singing.
It's like so grating in your ear.
I know, and
they're speak singing a lot.
Everything is speak singing. Apparently, the director didn't even like musicals. That's the tea.
Oh my God, he's such an idiot.
He's such a.
He's
then
so
don't
dumb.
make it a musical.
Remember him on at the Golden Globes with that translator, and he's just going a mile a minute, and that poor lady is just like, and he's just like does not care.
What about the nonprofit scene that won the Golden Globe?
Oh, the one with the Zoe Saldana where she's dancing on the table.
Yeah.
I think that's like the main song. That's the scene where they confront like the narrative of Emilia accepting money from the corrupt donors from the other cartels. And I guess that makes Zoe Saldana want to dance on the table. She's so mad.
She's so mad. So apparently for her nonprofit that is supposedly cleaning up the streets and finding missing people from the cartels, her biggest donors for it are cartel leaders.
That part like makes sense to me because I feel like it's all intertwined. But what doesn't make sense to me is how like there's this big moral through line where she's like confronting the morality of it all, and I'm like, bitch, this person was in a cartel. They were the leader, and now they're running away. They're a woman now. Like she's not gonna go out and be like, oh, I don't know if it's right or wrong. Like
literally, she killed people. Like she's not like a very like redeemable character.
And I guess
sorry.
It's like the morality of like a musical and the values, but like why this?
Why is she your girl? Why is she your hero?
The musical. Yeah, that I guess Zoe Saldana does well in that scene.
She slays. She
does
slays.
Like tricks and stuff.
Again, it's a whisper song. It's the only song in the entire movie that has a chorus.
Yeah.
Everything else does not have a chorus. Not catchy.
Anyway, another like there's a lot of tension between Selena Gomez and Auntie Emilia because of the kids. Selena Gomez decides that she wants to leave with her new man, and there's this big there's
the worst transphobic scene.
So transphobic. There's this blow up scene where they finally get in a fight, and Selena Gomez decides to leave the house, and because Emilia Perez is so possessive over her, They get in this big fight. Emilia Perez cuts off all of Selena Gomez's credit cards for the kids and stuff. And then they call each other, and there's this song where Emilia is like talking to Rita on the phone.
She starts speaking in her old man voice.
It's insane. She's
like, quiero mis hijos. Mis hijos. Like in a grumbling, growling. It's like, oh, she's mad. So
esa puta gorda tiene mis hijos. It's like
literally, that is a direct line, and exactly how. Trans women don't even talk.
I'm like coughing.
It's like you could tell she's straining her voice to
esa
speak
puta
that
Selena
way.
Gomez.
You could tell it's like her voice should not be going that way.
She's like it because there's this like weird like subplot where like her man comes out and it's like she's becoming the Hulk or whatever. It's like
mis hijos. Like she's like. Quiero mis hijos.
And
like out of nowhere.
And Rita's on the phone like, no girl, like
No,
not that
girl.
voice, not that voice,
girl, no. And then Selena's on the phone like, I'm gonna take my kids.
No es mi padrón. It's like it's so unserious. It's so unserious.
No, please no. And then,
but it is again that obsession with Emilia Perez being a man. Everything
whole
comes
movie
back
is
to
like,
she was a man.
She was a man. The whole time is them being like she was a man.
Like, should we get into the end? Like in the end. It's
Oh
just
my
this
god,
big-
my favorite part.
Oh yeah, it is.
The Butch
it is
Army.
Stunning. Oh, yeah. Wait, okay, so basically they get in this feud, and then Selena Gomez is like, fuck this woman. I'm gonna stage like a heist with my new baddie boyfriend, and they kidnap Emilia Perez.
Everyone's got connections with cartel leaders, apparently.
Yeah, and it's so
got
easy.
Connections with gangs, and the movie's also like the whole time is like, it's Mexico. Everyone's violent. There's violence
It's Mexico.
everywhere.
There's gangs. This
There's
is how
gangs
it is.
everywhere.
I know what I'm talking about.
I'm a French guy.
Literally. And so when Emilia is kidnapped, Rita, who is like somehow like in love with Emilia, or I don't get it.
We don't
She's,
know
like,
why she's so committed
to her PA
to
job.
her PA job. She really wants this gig. She really
wants this job. Being a lawyer, I need to be this girl's assistant.
So out of nowhere, I think somehow Emilia still has connections with the cartels.
Mm-hmm.
And so Rita channels that and calls the army of butches.
Yeah, to save Emilia because she's being kidnapped by her ex-wife, by Selena Gomez.
And this army of lesbians shows up with guns.
Literally these like tattooed butches with all these guns.
And they're like, we're going in there.
We're
We
queer
don't know.
and we're here.
Yeah, we're queer.
Let's
We're
get
helping
them.
this
Let's get them, boys.
Not transphobia, not on my watch.
No, and they all like take these like motorcycles and trucks down to the desert where Emilia.
There's like a shootout.
Because again, Selena is dating a different like sketchy drug lord guy or something.
Is a drug
I don't
lord
know.
or something. Everyone's got gang connections.
There's like a big like shootout crazy scene.
Because why not?
Why not?
Because it's a shootout scene.
At one point, this Selena's stupid character finally clocks the T. It takes her like 3 hours, 50 songs that aren't songs, and she finally clocks the T.
And Amelia's like, wait, what? It's because Amelia's like got shot, and she's like dying, and she's like, don't you remember we had sex that one night? And then Selena's like,
What? No.
She's
my
husband.
Dumb.
My husband.
No, mi padrón.
All of a sudden, they're lesbian lovers. All of a sudden, like out
All
of
this
nowhere,
time.
she forgets everything. She's like, my husband, no. Her boyfriend's no, tie her up, put her in the trunk, and they're driving away, and the butches are chasing them or some shit.
Yeah.
Selena's crying in the car.
Yeah.
She's like, my husband's in the trunk. My husband's in the trunk. My husband. And then he's like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, the guy's like, fuck you. She takes out a gun.
She takes out a gun.
She's like,
"My
stop
husband,
it. Para el auto. Para el auto. Está mi patrón. Para el auto. Ahora. And she like
and then okay, my favorite part of the movie, she like grabs the wheel, they steer off the cliff, and they fall off the cliff, huge car accident, everyone dies. Wait 20 seconds, slow zoom on the car, wait 10 more seconds, then the car explodes. I lost my I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, that was cinema. That was Kino.
That was camp.
Kino. I'm like, why could not the whole movie be that
It was so...
Oh my god.
It
That
was so
killed
dumb.
me. That was good.
The movie drags on because the entire thing drags on. There's like a weird march at the end where they
There's
like
a
have
parade.
a statue of Emilia Perez.
They're
and they're all
parading
like
a statue
singing.
of her and like she
Rita
never
adopts
asked.
the kids.
Oh yeah, Rita's like, I'll take care of you now.
Because of her good pal.
'Cause-
It's so weird.
Because she's like, yeah, she stopped being a lawyer like at the beginning of the.
She did not do an ounce of lawyering.
When did she lawyer?
Is she still bar certified? Who knows?
Someone take away her license, please.
So this is insane. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the writer and director of this movie. His name,
yeah.
and I mispronounce it probably. His name is Jacques Adad, and he's French. He's a white French man. I don't really know that much about him. I'm not like super in tune to film going on. But this book is based on a novel that he was reading, also by a man called Écoute. It's basically the plot of Emilia Perez. And in an interview, Jacques says he was fascinated by the vision of a hyper-macho, violent character who has a desire for femininity, and then immediately knocks out 30 pages. After reading this dumbass
That's pretty
book.
much all it is. Yeah, that's the one note of the entire movie.
He said, but the surprising thing was that it didn't come out as a film script at first. It came out as a libretto for an opera with scenes and archetypal characters without any real psychological development.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
And at one point, it was like two different things. It was supposed to be like a gritty crime movie, and then separately he was going to make an opera on stage, which makes me beg the question, are white men just allowed to do anything?
Oh, yes. Well, yes.
This is a story of like, what white men can do anything they want.
They really can do anything.
It's insane. What did you think about that aspect? Like when did you know that it was directed? Because the first time I watched it, I saw it in theater. I didn't know that it was directed by a white French man.
So what really started to like pique my interest about this was the fact that it won Best Musical at the Golden Globes. So I'm like, yeah, that's where I was like, okay, what? And I had only heard bad things from that point on. So I was like, okay, I'm confused. Why is it winning this? And after watching it, my theory, this is a movie for cis people who like want to feel really fucking good about themselves and be like, you know what? I'm supporting a trans Latina in the
Literally.
media, and I feel like this is the most like limp, wet blanket response to Trump winning the election.
Yeah.
I think they're like, you know what? You. We're gonna have a trans Mexican cartel leader win at the Oscars and at the Golden
Globes. Imagine like a
Globes.
meeting where they're just like writing words down and they're like, trans.
Yeah,
trans,
it's like a
Latina,
Republican fever dream.
Cartel.
Selena Gomez
Selena Gomez.
musical.
It has been, I think the reception of the movie has been really interesting too, because this movie is getting such a heavy like PR spin for the Oscars.
Yes.
Like it has 13 nominations for the Oscars. It was bought by Netflix at Cannes, so it's Netflix's movie that they're pushing forward with this really expensive Oscars campaign and awards campaign. But at the same time, people are watching this movie.
They are
and
watching
reacting
it
to how bad it is.
Every normal person who's watched this movie has been like, yeah, this is horrible. And somehow the Oscar community What's sad is it's like our f***ing Green Book, a movie which is trying to tackle the nuances of being a minority in like a place that doesn't accept them in the most blunt, heavy-handed,
idiotic,
helping people feel good. It's like the Green Book made old white people feel good about like solving racism, whatever. The Emilia Perez helps dumb cis, sorry, I don't want to call them dumb cis people. Helps cis people feel good about supporting trans people. I think that's
people. So true.
It's like the same thing over it. I think it's just like what the Oscars has become nowadays. It's like if you have a certain, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like.
Well, it's so by a white man. It's
exactly. At the end of the day,
it's a white man's idea of like, I'm gonna make this woke movie. People are gonna love it.
It's like I'm gonna make the wokest movie. It felt like it was like I'm gonna put every DEI.
Was like, I'm gonna give them something they're gonna love. I'm gonna do something so good for them right now.
They're gonna worship me up. They're gonna eat this up. They're gonna love it.
I feel like. Not coincidentally, I feel like a lot of like the negative reviews that have finally started coming in about this movie happened on the dawn of Sofia Gascon, the main actress, who I was actually excited about. When I saw that she was nominated for an Oscar, I was like, okay, work. I still like her. I still think she delivered some good scenes.
Yeah.
Like, I was like I'm hoping no one saw the movie and she can just win an Oscar.
Yeah. So we get a trans woman who wins an Oscar.
Exactly. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, it's fine. Like, I really hope no one sees this movie and we can just pretend it's something else.
Yeah.
But recently, because it's 2025 and everything sucks and everything is horrible, some of her old tweets came up. And
of course.
Do you want to react to those?
Yeah, let's read some.
So these are tweets. She's Sofia Gascon is like an older Spanish trans woman. And here's some European racism. She tweeted about the vaccine. This is in Spanish, so this is translated. The Chinese vaccine, apart from the mandatory chip, this is like when it came out, comes with 2 spring rolls, a cat that moves its hand, 2 plastic flowers, a pop-up lantern, 3 telephone lines, and €1 for your controlled purchase. So just like a racist little dig.
Yeah. So this is, so we're starting to realize this is Spanish Caitlyn Jenner, potentially.
Oh my god, she does kind of look like it. People were saying now that we're like allowed to be mean to her, people are saying that she's Lana Del Rey's Wario.
Lana Del Rey's Wario?
It's so bad. She also tweeted about like a rant about Islamic people, I guess. Islam fails to comply with international rights and that the religions must be banned as long as it does not comply with DDHH. That's an abbreviation for human rights in Spanish law. The worst one, I think, this one was insane. This one she tweeted about the Oscars.
Oh my god.
Did you hear about this one?
I think I saw this one. Read it.
More and more, the hashtag Oscars are looking like a ceremony for independent and protest films. I don't know when this was. It must have been like 2017.
So ironic.
I didn't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, a Black Lives Matter demonstration, or the 8M. Apart from that, an ugly, ugly gala. So I guess she was very mad about seeing people of color at the Oscars.
So, bitch, you're mad about a woke movie winning because woke.
It's like, it's
curious.
Funny. And then I think I don't have the tweet, but I know she tweeted something pretty awful, distasteful.
Oh, yeah, she had some shit to say about George Floyd.
And yeah, so basically everything sucks.
A lot about, just generally racist, Islamophobic, anti-DEI, anti-vaccine,
I think in,
the list goes on.
A weird, detached, ironic way, Hollywood just loves to laugh at itself.
Yeah.
It loves to flop. It loves to embarrass itself.
It's such, cosmic irony.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bitch, what do you think you are? If you're like, I can't believe all these Oscars just nominating films because they're minority representation. What? Your shit film would not win if it wasn't a trans woman lead. I'm sorry.
In a weird way, it like works for the movie because like of course they hired this woman not knowing anything about her, not knowing her vibe at all. It's just like it's just like the most like ham-fisted way of Hollywood to be like, I don't know how to read the room right now.
Exactly. Let's get this white French cis man to make a movie about all the communities he doesn't understand.
I will say I did like Selena Gomez's hair in it. It made me feel
Selena Gomez's hair, very good.
I liked some of Emilia Perez's outfits. I thought they were very elegant.
They were gorge. Some of that was super gorge.
A crazy movie. I'm interested to see how it will do in the Oscars. I don't think well. And I do think that this might give way to what I really hope happens at the Oscars. I hope A Complete Unknown wins.
A Complete Unknown?
The Bob Dylan film.
Oh my god.
I love Timothée Chalamet.
I mean, that would be... Well, we hope he finally gets this
I want
win.
that little man on stage. I want that little man on stage doing a dance.
I would love for him to get on stage and do a dance.
Why couldn't this... Well, I don't know. Anyway. Why couldn't Timothée Chalamet been Emilia Perez?
Honestly, wait, I would have rather... Yeah, I would have... This is one step up from cis men playing trans women.
Like Dallas Buyers Club. And the Oscars loved that movie.
This is
I think
the
that's
next step.
What's his name? Matthew McConaughey won the Oscar for, right?
Jared Leto.
Oh, Jared Leto.
I'm not sure. Jared Leto played a trans woman.
No, I think it was Jared Leto.
I forget, but they loved her.
Which, like, who are they? Okay, I don't know.
But this is the next. It's like first, it's like they have men play trans women, then they have a trans woman play a trans woman, but they make her play it in such a transphobic way.
Yeah.
The only way they're gonna have it is if she emphasizes her manliness the entire time.
I almost feel like this movie is such a flop that if it had been like it had been like presented to me by like this weird Netflix Oscars Awards promotional campaign as like a prestige movie, and I went in if it had been like if I had gone expecting if it had been like sold to us as a flop, like look at this dumb flop movie.
That's the thing about it is I wanted it to be a camp flop. It was not a good movie. It lost that from the
I feel
start.
like if the marketing campaign had been just like, look at this another dumb movie they made, I at least would have been like, okay, that's insane.
But they're like, this is gonna end transphobia.
They're like,
this is the movie that ends transphobia.
This is our little gift to you. It's so...
Here you go,
I don't know. I hope like more crazy big budget movies are made. I hope they're not as bad as this one.
Yeah, because the thing is they don't make they don't make it's so rare that they make big budget movies with non-existing IP.
Yeah.
Right? Like I guess this was a play at first or something.
Or a book, yeah. But it's like I want to see more risk taking. I want to see more crazy movies.
Yeah.
I don't know what the vibe was. I don't know what the vibe. I want a different vibe.
In conclusion, French men stop. French men stop. What's this name?
What I forgot already. It's like Jacques Edouard. I don't know.
As a trans woman, this was a horrible transphobic piece of shit movie, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. Shame on the Golden Globes for awarding you for this movie. I hope you all do better in the future and understand how up this
I hope
was.
someone else gets all this money to make movies.
Shame on you.
And on that note,
this has been Dolls Deranged. My name's Nicole.
And I'm Veronica.
Bye, Gall. Bye, Gall.
Bye,
Gorge.
ghouls.
Mwah.
Bye.
Want to give a quick thank you to our patrons.
Oh, yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
Guest
yeah,
Wi-Fi. We got Kitty Logic, and we got Texas Tony. Thank you all. Y'all, we have exclusive content on our Patreon. Please go join. You can also watch all of our episodes uncensored. You can vote on polls. You can do everything you would ever want. And please, only for the price of $5. If you pay $10, we'll give you a shout out just like right now.
We'll
Please,
talk to you.
We will talk
We
to
should
you.
do. You can
We
do
have
lives
a
on there. We
chat.
should start doing lives.
We should. We will. We'll start doing lives.
Like next
just
time
for
we're
y'all.
like doing like we're gonna go out. Let's just do like a live on our Patreon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that. We'll keep our promise. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.
Mwah.
Mwah.